Hi. Guess who's back? Not me, silly. Art the Clown is back and bigger than ever. Yes, I saw Terrifier 2. I saw it over the weekend, and oh my clown. It's pretty crazy and intense. I'm so happy for them that they got a theatrical release. Before I even start, I have to say a couple of things about the screening that I went to. I am not kidding. Somebody, a family, brought their teeny tiny little baby, like not newborn, but still considered to be an infant baby, to the screening of uncut, probably unrated, Terrifier 2. And I was kind of impressed because that baby didn't really cry at all. It started to get a little fussy like halfway through when there was a lot of screaming on the screen at a particular scene. If you've seen the movie, I think you know which one I mean. But yeah, they just brought their baby out into like the hallway, and I was just like, okay. And then halfway through the movie, like 3 obnoxious, clearly not old enough to be here kids came in, and they sat right in front of me, and like I didn't want to get up and go complain. I don't really want to be one of those people, like, you know. I remember when it's like when, you know, after you saw your other movie, you kind of went in to go see another movie, which is very bad. I used to work at movie theaters. That's bad. Anyway, so they came in, they plopped right in front of me, and they're like, you know, just being obnoxious to anything that was going on in the movie. And I seriously hope they get nightmares, because the one in the middle was like, wah, like freaking out at super like violent, gross parts. So I was kind of like, I hope they get nightmares, because they're really ruining my experience. They were like on their phone. That's just, no, don't do that. If you're gonna be on your phone, like you absolutely have to, because it's an emergency, put the brightness down. Anyway, okay, so that was super frustrating, because they started taking pictures of themselves, and I'm just like, this isn't your house. Okay, so that was super annoying. But it was distracting for a bit. It was very frustrating. Like, you know, I haven't been to a movie theater in a while. I wanted to go have a good time. Anyway, okay, so Art the Clown is back. This movie starts off like exactly where the last one left off. He had been in the morgue and he was dead, but surprise, he's not dead. And he kills the morgue guy. And I really liked the opening credits, because it's this girl who is like making her costume, and I'm, you know, I have friends that do a lot of cosplay. I do cosplay, and she was like building her awesome costume, and the music was great. And I was gonna say that like my one complaint about this movie is that we don't see Art putting on his clown makeup. Like, it's kind of, you kind of get like where he came from, sort of, and he just kind of exists with his clown makeup on. So I have a question about the first movie, like when he gets his beginning scene putting on his makeup, I'm like, but, you know, technically you're making it like he just existed this way. But that's just a nitpick on my part. But because there isn't that, like, let's be in front of our mirror making the, you know, clown face and clown awesomeness, we're getting this girl who's making her own, like, kick-ass cosplay situation. And so she lives with her brother and her mom, and it's you know, said that her dad had passed away, but he was also an artist and kind of created this character, the costume that she's making for. And the little brother is like obsessed with Art the Clown. Like, he wants to dress up as him for Halloween. And I really actually liked this, like, the brother and sister relationship. I mean, she was kind of creeped out by him a bit, but and they don't make him, the brother, like, creepy just to be creepy. Like, he actually seems kind of like a sweet kid. And, like, you're just kind of like, aw, I don't want you guys to get hurt. kind of thing. And I know people are probably going to be mad at me when I say this. Like, I'm not really the biggest fan of slasher films. So, like, I like horror, but the slasher is not usually the kind of horror that I like. Obviously, I'll make the exception for Art because Art is awesome because he's a kick-ass clown and he still keeps the mime stuff up. I don't really want to say too much about this movie because it's just so awesome, and if it's still in theaters, you should go see it. The music is great. The violence is so over the top and fantastic. There is a scene that what I really particularly liked about the theater experience is that after the movie they had like some put after the credits stuff, and it wasn't like a ooh hey we're trying to be Marvel. Like, no, it was it was the director Damien Leone, whatever, I apologize, and David Howard Thornton talking about, you know, what it was like to make the movie, and like, you know, they got shut down because of, you know, the events of the last couple years, and so they had to get more creative with certain kills and the props, the prosthetics, the animatronics, if that's what you want to call it, whatever, everything. It was crazy. It was so crazy and awesome. For the most over-the-top gore scenes ever. And there's a really messed up scene with like mashed potatoes that it's gonna make. From now on, at least in my house, every time there's a holiday that involves like mashed potatoes for dinner, I'm gonna be like I know I mentioned earlier, but I don't usually care much about slasher films. Like, I don't find them that interesting. I get bored with them really easily. But what was great is that the characters, you do like them. I mean, you know, there's certain characters where it's like, oh, okay, you know, they're going to be the one that gets it. They're going to get the super messed up gore nonsense. But the siblings, the brother and sister, I really, really liked that they were able to make it through. The other thing about slasher flicks, it often reminds me of like soap operas. Like, the reaction time is so slow. Like, they're just like, something terrible is happening. They're like, you know, like somebody's gonna do the slow scream. It's just it's so funny and it's great and so silly. I know it's just kind of all over the place because like I was saying, there's not really like, oh, this happens. It's just like a scene. How did he get there? How did he do this? I think my favorite scenes, what's great about, but also kind of annoying in other movies and, you know, continuations of comics or whatever, whenever there's a kick-ass character that's like the villain or whatever, he's gonna get like a girl version. Like, oh, gotta have a girl version, which, okay, and that kind of happens here. Like, Art gets a sidekick that's like the small, you know, creepy girl, and she's not overused, which I really appreciated. She's adorable, and I'm super excited for Halloween this year and going to conventions, Spooky Empire specifically, because, you know, there's gonna be so many Art the Clown sidekicks. And she was great. She was a really great addition with Art. They had great chemistry, like comedic chemistry together, and that was a lot of fun. So I really liked any scene where she was in. And I loved, there's a dream sequence with like the Clown Cafe. That stuff was great. When it first starts, it's like everybody's super excited for Art and like, oh, and like the girls are like, mwah, mwah, you know, like they love Art. Oh my gosh. And it made me think about how I could slowly watch on the internet, like after I saw the first Terrifier movie, I mean, because technically Art wasn't All Hallows Eve, but anyway, because after Terrifier came out, and I saw it, I did my review, and I started like joining like different social media groups talking about Art. Some as my clown self, some as just me, because, you know, sometimes it gets boring. But anyway, keeping up the shtick online, you know, it's like, okay, I'm just here to have fun. I'm not always promoting something. Anyway, but the way, like, it progresses to in the Clown Cafe scene to everybody, like, being like, oh, I'm so obsessed with Art. Art's amazing. Oh my God. It was kind of like made me think about how the whole internet just kind of went crazy for Art the Clown. And I'm like, yes, you deserve it, buddy. That's so that was really cool. It made me think of that. And then, you know, with him getting a sidekick. I also really liked the main character, Sienna. I mean, I mentioned, you know, I liked her, seeing her outfit. Her outfit's too, you know, she's a cute girl. She's like an angel, evil. I mean, you know, evil versus good. Angel girl versus evil clown. And there's like some supernatural elements, like not just for art, but the stuff involving her as well, which is so cute. Like, you're like, what is happening? I don't care. I'm here for it anyway. What I liked a lot about her is that she was really fun to watch being scared. Like, I know that sounds weird, but there's some movies that if I like the actress, the way she, like, if she does great being scared and I want to see what's going to happen to her, like, that's good. To me, like, that's good. Like, Bridget in Ginger Snaps. Oh my gosh, the main girl in the Japanese horror flick Reincarnation. Like, just watching them be, like, just, like, they do, like, I believe that you're terrified. So that's just fun to me, and she makes a really great final girl, even though, you know, it's her and her sibling. There's also a really great, because they go to a carnival that seems to be abandoned, and there's a fun house called the Terrifier, which is where a lot of stuff happens at the end. And I'm just like, what is their budget? What is the budget on this carnival that they can just make that they can make the biggest fun house ever that's also halfway a bathroom? What? Anyway, Terrifier 2 was crazy, and I know as soon as I'm finished this, I'm going to think of everything else that I wanted to say about it. But I loved it. I thought it was great. It was so much fun. I think I liked it more than the first one. And I know people are like, oh my god, how could you? Like, whatever, it's my opinion. But the characters were more fun. Like, the people in the first movie, I did not care about them. I was kind of like waiting for them to just die. And so apparently they're already working on Terrifier 3, which is super exciting. And, but yeah, if you get a chance to see it in a theater, please do. One, even if, like, stupid asshole people show up and they're loud and obnoxious and sit right in front of you, or if weird people bring their teeny tiny baby, just go enjoy the movie. Like, because it's definitely a theater experience. Even if you don't like slasher movies and you don't like over-the-top gore, just give it a try. You know, like, these smaller movies need to make a bigger splash. Especially with, you know, everything going on in the world and the way the movie industry is just now. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be over the top. It doesn't have to be like CGI monsters everywhere. There's a good time and place for that. But now is the time for small things to get more attention, I think. So, oh my gosh, I'm rambling. But it's good to be back. It's good to be back for me. It's good to be back to see Art the Clown. And I'm looking forward to more. See you next time.